have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Scholars of Wrestling Show. I am your host for this week, Scholar Jeff, alongside, as always, the master of douchery himself, Brian. How you doing tonight, Brian?
Hello. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, don't you start that again.
Blah.
As with last week, Scholar Tarek is once again playing Operation Baby Daddy. So, Godspeed, sir.
Godspeed, and good luck to you.
We look forward to seeing you again, but until then, we got Night of Champions coming up.
We do. It doesn't seem very Night of Champions like, but then again, it's a...
Then again, what does that mean?
Yeah, you know, it should be a big pay-per-view, you know, Night of Champions. All the champions are going in big matches, but once again, as in recent years, Night of Champions just feel like, meh.
This year, it wasn't just meh. This year was just weird.
It's
from
been,
the Raw leading up to it, everything was just bizarre.
How about the month? How about the month leading up to it? Not just the Raw leading up to it. The month leading up to it has been freaking weird, man.
But then again, we'll get into all that in greater detail later on in the show. For right now, let's do the famous backstage news. Not much this week.
Backstage news.
Yes, one day we will get a sound clip for that. In the meantime, this week there's a rumor going around that the bunny, the famous Adam Rose bunny, who's been kicking people in the face as of late, lately it's been played by two people, Sami Zayn and Justin Gabriel.
Which is kind of awkward, because the bunny is kind of tall. And when you think of those two, they're not.
It's all in the ears.
It's all in the ears.
Add another foot and a half.
I can see it being either one. What do I want to see? Sami Zayn come into the WWE on the main roster dressed as a bunny? Not really, but I'd be fine with Justin Gabriel. Or last week we were speculating as Zack Ryder, one of those types being the bunny. Get them back in the public eye. Sami Zayn coming up as a bunny, I don't know, man.
I don't think anyone intentionally wants them to come up as a bunny. Really, this just seems like one of those placeholders where, okay, we need to have a comedy spot with a wrestling bunny. Hey, Sami Zayn, you're a good wrestler. Go put on this bunny suit.
Yeah, I'd still like it to be either Justin Gabriel or Zack Ryder more. Just if that's the first exposure you get of Sami Zayn, even though you don't know it's Sami Zayn, we do. Okay, we do know it's Sami Zayn, and if it is Sami Zayn, we can figure out the mannerisms. And I just don't. I'd rather not have Sami Zayn doing what he did like last week. Have good matches on Raw. Not really mean anything. They're still the NXT brand, but not really mean anything in the long run for Raw. But have him show his skills. Not have him dressed up as a bunny and doing that stuff. Justin Gabriel, Zack Ryder, you haven't seen him for a while. So, yeah, throw them in a bunny suit and have them just kick people's faces all day long. But leave the NXT guys out of it.
I fully agree. But normally I wouldn't have a problem with that, but someone online suggested the nightmare scenario of one night when Sami Zayn is wearing a suit, the head falls off. And then you have to use that as a kayfabe reason to bring up Sami Zayn and put him on Monday Night Raw as the bunny guy.
No, that is the horrible scenario. Whoever brought that up, shame on you.
Yeah, shame on you, Woo. Love you guys. Anywho, bunnies aside, there is another rumor going around that again, I don't know where this came from exactly. It could just be LOL dirt sheets for all we know. But there is a rumor going around that they will put the bunny in a match on the pre-show on Night of Champions.
Well, think about it. On the pre-show, you have a tag team match. Adam Rose and the bunny versus Titus O'Neil and Heath Slater. Whatever their name is. The Slater Gator, the Gator... Yeah.
We're going with... You were about to say Gator Slaters.
I was, but we'll go with Slater
Gator Slaters. It's now Scholars of Wrestling canon now.
Yeah,
anyway,
so
proceed.
It makes sense, kinda, and it would be amusing. It wouldn't be as amusing as the midget ladder match. Okay, the midget TLC.
Nothing will ever
top that. But I'd be fine with the Bunny and with the Bunny in the tag team match to have put Adam Rose and the Bunny over Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil. Nice little comedy match. Nice little appetizer for the main course.
You had to be the one to say it, not me.
I knew it was coming.
You listening, fool? He said it, not me for once. Okay,
but I knew it was gonna come. So I knew it was gonna come at some point. So I got it in there quickly and got it over with.
Okay, we're done. We're done.
But Heath Slater and Titus O'Neil versus Adam Rose and the Bunny. I'd be down.
More down than I was, honestly, after hearing all that. But okay, as long as it's not Sami Zayn making a fool out of himself, we're all good. In the meantime, speaking of not making a fool out of yourself, another big rumor going around is the rumor that Fergal Devitt is going to be making his NXT debut in a tag team with either Sami Zayn or Kevin Steen.
I see no problems with this whatsoever. Either way, really. Even it will probably be better for it to be Kevin Steen because Sami Zayn's on his way up, from what I see.
Possibly.
If you're gonna need to give a guy like Fergal Devitt some time to down in the NXT, you're gonna do the same thing with Kevin Steen. Team him up, do it, and then because Sami Zayn's on his way up. So if they're not gonna put Fergal Devitt on the main roster right away. The four guys, okay, Tyler Breeze, Tyson Kidd. Well, Tyson Kidd might as well be on the roster already.
He's everywhere he needs to be. He's like Visa.
Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn are all on their way up to the main roster, seeing as they had that match on Raw last week, and I figure they're going to keep going with that. So put the two new guys coming in together in a tag team, and it'll all work out. Fergal Devitt and Kevin Steen. What could I'm not gonna say
what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, because then everything will go wrong.
Well, now that you mention that, there is one tiny little complaint I have, or at least a fear, that if they have Devitt with Steen right out of the gate, then they might not necessarily get the individual attention that we're expecting that they will. But then again,
let's think of it. Kevin Steen got all the attention that he did based off of a tag team breakup. When he broke up with Sami Zayn as El Generico in ROH, that's when Kevin Steen started getting all the attention, because that's when Monster Kevin Steen, I'm gonna kill everything, came out.
Fair enough.
Okay, so if they're gonna try that again, I'd be down with it.
Fair enough. Again, it all depends on what they do with Prince Devitt. I'm still calling him Prince Devitt. And Kevin Steen and all these guys. But there was an article on the .com about the new generation of NXT going over, just having a cluster interview with Fergal Devitt, Kevin Steen, Hideo Kojima, whatever his name is.
Hideo Kojima! Yeah. Make more Metal Gear Solid, David. Make better Metal Gear Solid. That last one was like 2 hours of nothing.
We've got Ground Zeroes already, and we've got the Phantom Pain coming out. We don't have to worry about
as I said, Ground Zeroes with 2 hours of nothing. Let's go.
Wait, we're waiting for it. Anyway, my point is, WWE knows what they've got in all these guys.
Indeed.
So I really don't think we have to worry too much about WWE knowing what they've got.
They'll all get their due at some point.
Yeah, really. Punk and Bryan Danielson, both these guys definitely broke the glass ceiling, if not CM Punk did on his own. They know the value of the big names on the independent scene. How can they not know?
And now that you've got guys like Seth Rollins, a.k.a. Tyler Black, and Dean Ambrose, a.k.a. Jon Moxley, doing what they're doing on TV right now, that's making it even better.
Yeah, we're okay. Everything is going to be okay.
Yeah.
Now that
I would add Antonio Cesaro, but he's not really up there yet.
Hey, the exception proves the rule.
Indeed.
That's the one thing that allows me to sleep at night. But in the meantime, speaking of sleeping at night, let's just get to Night of Champions already. Okay, first match. Likely to be the one that opened up the show outside of the appetizer match. For the U.S. Championship, Sheamus versus Cesaro. Who do you got?
This could possibly be the toughest one for me
Really?
to pick. Let's see. This is a coin toss for me. I'm fine with either one winning. And, I mean, the best thing Cesaro could do with a title at this point, and Sheamus is really not United States champion. He's above that. So if you want to put him back in the main event scene, you have Cesaro go over here.
As much as I would love to see that,
but I do see Sheamus retaining. It's one of those, like, you can go either way. This is the 50-50 match.
This is
on
a 50-50 match.
This is, for me, it's the 50-50 match.
Okay. Yeah, we'll touch upon that. But right now, I think you pretty much nailed it. This one could really go either way in my book. Cesaro just isn't booked as strong as he once was in the past. We all know this.
Yes.
And Sheamus, again, I like Sheamus. I'm saying this as a guy who likes Sheamus. I really don't think that he's at a really prominent level right now. He's kind of stagnant right now, as is the rest of the U.S. Championship scene, which is a genuine shame. As far as this match, I'm just going to go for the really optimistic pick here. I would love to see Cesaro take it back and just see some back and forth with these guys.
Honestly, okay, if you want to start building Cesaro back up to where he was when he won the Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania, this is a good way to start. Give him the United States title. Have Sheamus move back up and start fighting the upper mid card guys, and I'll agree. Cesaro will take this
Unanimous.
one.
All right.
Cesaro will
Scholar's
take this
pick for this match is Cesaro. Let's move on to match number 2. This time we have the exciting match for the Divas Championship. Paige versus AJ Lee versus Nikki Bella in a 3-way triple threat match. 3 ways.
I'm getting a you made the joke. That's it.
I already messed up my phrasing already. Let's just roll with it already.
Yeah.
Who do you got?
Unfortunately, okay.
So you got Nikki Bella.
Since it's a triple threat match, and the way the storyline has gone, okay. I hate to say it, but everything is leading to a Nikki Bella win and a Bella feud for the Divas title. Do I want it? Hell no. I want either Paige or AJ to win, and I will be so happy if they do. But that logical point in my mind is, what are they treating as the bigger storyline right now for the Divas?
I wish you weren't so right now. I in my mind, I want to imagine that WWE is going to pull a fast one on us, and that Brie Bella is going to interfere, and she's going to fight her sister, and then maybe Paige or AJ will roll up or hit their finisher for the win, and then one of them keeps the title, hangs on to it, keeps it far, far away from the Total Divas.
That is the optimistic point of view. However,
yeah, I've got a nasty, nasty feeling Nikki Bella is going to be the one to take it.
Yeah, so logical minds say that Nikki Bella will take it, while the
more like pessimistic minds.
While the optimistic minds want either Paige or AJ to win, and I am a pessimist by heart. So yeah, I'm going Nikki Bella on this one. I hate it, but I'm going with it.
Can you take your Master of Douchery title back? Just like right now?
Nikki Bella wins. Screw you all.
I'll take that as a yes. We're going with Nikki Bella, as much as I hate to admit it, but maybe this feud will actually have some stakes now if Nikki Bella takes it.
The gelatin will win. That's
what? The gelatin?
Well, she had a boob job, right?
Oh,
the gelatin.
Yeah,
will
you're
win.
talking about gel. I think you're talking about Jello. Is like, what kind of plastic surgeon do you go to?
The gelatin will win. That's it.
Remind me never to discuss your dates on Saturday nights from now on. Anyway, speaking of dates or lack thereof, let's talk about Mark Henry versus Rusev.
It's got to go the same way as Jack Swagger versus Rusev. Rusev isn't losing yet.
This is the most bizarre thing I have seen in a while. At least the way the last Monday night ended up with Mark Henry versus Rusev segment closed Raw. I was just staring at my... I wasn't watching Raw. I was just staring at my TV like...
They don't know what the hell they're doing with the scheduling at this point.
I'm just confused now.
It's got... For this match, okay, if they went the way they did with Swagger versus Rusev, okay, Rusev must win. Must win. There is absolutely no way that Mark Henry can win this match. Let's face it, okay, this is all leading up to a John Cena versus Rusev. John Cena gets the first legit victory over Rusev. So, for that... Rusev must win. Mark Henry does not win. Rusev wins.
You know what? Just the way you phrase that is starting to make the wheels turn in my mind for things that are going to happen later on tonight. And as much as I was sort of going back and forth at the beginning, I'm going to have to go with this one too. Let's just make it a consensus. Rusev takes this.
And let's face it, okay? The build up to this match compared to the Swagger Rusev build-ups,
I can tell this whole phenomenon is just really weird. It's like obviously this didn't have the build of Swagger versus Rusev, nor did it have the hype behind it, nor would it. But I can tell like this match is the result of not the entire creative team pushing towards something. Like if I can get the impression that the entire creative team, in regards to this match, didn't really have a single idea, or they didn't really have any ideas. Period. For this match was just the result of one guy making a lot of noise, chanting Rusev, Mark Henry, blah blah blah. One guy's entire writing process, just pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and Vince McMahon is sort of just growling in the gorilla position. Okay, fine, give the kid his spot. So he gets this 15-minute spot in the main event of the last Raw telecast in the Go Home show to Night of Champions to do his precious Rusev versus Mark Henry feud that only one guy in creative cares about. And then meanwhile, Steve Jones in creative is just like soiling his pants because his dream and career have come alive once again. And now his dream feud of Mark Henry versus Rusev is going to come alive on Night of Champions.
Because let's think about this logically, okay?
No, I don't know where that came from.
The show's name is Night of Champions. Okay? Are either of these two champions? Either of them.
Rusev is the champion of Russia?
Shut up. No.
I'm trying here.
Neither of them are champions. So what sense does it make to give them the main event slot on the Go Home show for Night of Champions?
Because
when you had that pretty good segment of Brock Lesnar and John Cena beating each other up.
Because Mark Henry is the champion of America.
Shut up. Get out of here.
Okay.
Go home. Wait, you're already home.
Aha, sucker.
I'm going to go to my car now. This isn't making sense anymore.
Okay, speaking of...
That's it.
Welcome to Friday night, kids. Alright, speaking of things not making sense anymore, let's just dive right into the WWE Tag Team Championship match, baby. The Usos versus The Dashingly Gold Stardust Dashingly Gold Brothers, daddy.
Well, I'm just going to say this right now. Until the Usos lose the titles, I am going to say the other team every time. So, yeah, I'm going Dashingly Gold.
Daddy.
I'm going Dashingly Gold for the win, because let's think about it, okay? You just turned them heel. Okay? They're the hottest thing going in the tag team division right now, which is kind of... The tag team division is kind of in the bottom of the barrel right now as far as stuff.
I agree, baby.
And it's... You gotta change it up, okay? You should have changed it up months ago, but you didn't. And now look at what you got. You had to turn these two heel. They're amazing. Their characters are amazing. I was not on the bandwagon when it first happened. We know this. But now that they turned heel, these two are amazing. You gotta give them a run. And if you're not gonna do it, I'm sorry. The Usos have had their run. The Usos' run should have finished 3 months ago.
I agree with you. The Usos' run should have ended months ago. They were due to lose the straps to an up-and-coming tag team. They should have lost to my boys. Okay, I'm dropping the attempted Dusty Rhodes gimmick.
Stop it.
Okay, just to clarify, right before we went on and right before you came by and we started recording, I watched some promos of Dean Ambrose in his John Moxley persona doing an impression of Dusty Rhodes doing an impression of characters from Point Break.
It all makes sense now.
I'm an FBI agent, baby. If you've never seen that before, look it up on YouTube. It's great. I need to stop. Anyway, you're absolutely right in everything you said. And another commentator said, great. If these guys, meaning Dashling Gold, if Dashling Gold do not win the tag straps, their heel turn would have been for nothing.
Yeah. There was no point to the heel turn unless they're coming out with something on the other end. Okay? That's why as soon as they turned, I was like, they have to win. They have to win at Night of Champions. There's no other choice. If they don't win, what the hell are you doing, creative?
They beat the Shield, baby. They have to go over at Night of Champions.
That was a year ago. Stop it.
Keep the momentum going. Dashing Gold is still good. Dashing Gold Stardust, Super Stardust Brothers, whatever. There are picks. They're going over, or at least they better, the end. I'm going to be a happy boy if they do. Moving on to our next championship match at Night of Champions. We've got Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz for the Intercontinental Championship. Who do you got?
I got Dolph Ziggler because of the rumors going around that Bray Wyatt is going to face off against Dolph Ziggler for the Intercontinental title. And second of all, okay, I'm fine with going back and forth on the United States title. Like those guys pushing it back and forth between each other for a little while. Intercontinental title, someone needs to have like a 2-month reign or whatever. Someone needs like a lengthy-ish reign. And knowing that Dolph Ziggler won it at SummerSlam, he needs to hold on to it for a little while. In this case, Dolph Ziggler gets the win. The Miz and Damian Mizdow try to do some shenanigans. Dolph Ziggler and whatever R-Truth was doing is gonna come down and combat that. And Dolph Ziggler will pull off the victory, leading into his battle with the Wyatts.
Look, my criticism of the potential Ziggler-Wyatt's feud, I just can't right now. I really don't want to think that just because Bray Wyatt, I feel like Bray Wyatt deserves better, but at least it seems like he's going to get a shot at the strap and get some gold around his waist.
Here's my thing. I said it last week. I'll say it again. Okay. You want to add prestige to the Intercontinental title. Bray Wyatt wins it from Dolph Ziggler and holds it for a while, defending, because Bray Wyatt does nothing without a storyline. Okay, so give Bray Wyatt the Intercontinental title, give him some storylines against guys, and you'll build up the prestige. You'll make Tarek happy, you'll make everybody happy, and Bray Wyatt has all the time in the world, okay, to get up to the WWE World Heavyweight title standard, get back there again. But because you killed him with John Cena, now you have to build him back up, and the perfect way to do that is to give him the Intercontinental title, let him have a lengthy run, and then see what happens from there. So Dolph Ziggler retains, moves on to a feud with Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt wins the strap and goes on to make Intercontinental title happy days. Yeah, and I'm fine with that as long as Bray Wyatt has a strap or is doing something that isn't getting murdered by John Cena. I'm perfectly fine with it.
What you just said really brought another thought to mind here. Someone brought this up, and I really didn't even notice it until later on today when I was looking over the card for Night of Champions. Bray Wyatt, this is the first time in a long time when he has actually not been in an official match on a pay-per-view.
Well, let's think about it, okay? He didn't have a storyline.
Other than the one he just concluded with Chris Jericho.
He concluded it with Jericho. And I still say that should have been the end of Jericho. He should have went off on... His tour's already started, okay? His tour with Theory of a Dead Man has already started. So
wait, Fozzy is touring with Theory of a Dead Man?
Fozzy is touring with Theory of a Dead Man.
Why do we not have tickets for this?
We shall go on the internet afterwards and find some.
Brilliant. Okay, moving on.
But it makes no sense for the later match to be happening. Because, honestly, after the beatdown that Bray Wyatt gave Chris Jericho after the cage match, that should have been it. Jericho goes off on his tour with Theory of a Dead Man. Bray Wyatt moves on to whatever he's doing next month. Because storyline's over, doesn't have anything going into Night of Champions. Oh well. But it's basically what I just said, except Jericho has a match, and Bray Wyatt's still off the card. But there's no storyline there.
Unless everything we just discussed is true, and let's say after Ziggler beats The Miz, he's celebrating, all of a sudden, Brew Derp, and all of a sudden, Bray Wyatt comes out, Sister Abigail on Ziggler, kicks off the feud in earnest.
You hear that, WWE? We want it!
As long as I get some derp on my Night of Champions show, I'm going to be perfectly A-okay.
Yes, there needs to be some derp. Okay?
We want some derp. In the meantime, Dolph Ziggler wins.
Yes.
Right, in the meantime, we have next up, going down the roster, the aforementioned Chris Jericho versus Randy Orton for some reason.
Is there any question here? Chris Jericho's gone after this match. Okay, I predict Randy Orton punts him in the head again. Randy Orton wins.
Yeah, I'm just...
That's what upsets me, okay? Because we've already seen Randy Orton punt Jericho in the head to send him in on his way to a tour back in 2010? Yeah, 2010.
I don't know the exact year either.
2010 was when Randy Orton, Jericho did another list of the people that he beat. Okay, Randy Orton came out, beat him in the match, and then punted him in the head, sent him on his way. We didn't see him again for a year and a half. Okay, so why do we have to see this again? It's the best ending point would have either been have the steel cage match between Jericho and Wyatt on Night of Champions, or when it happened on Raw. That's it. Jericho's done. Bray Wyatt gets put over like a beast. He took out Jericho. He sent Jericho packing. Instead, we get to see Randy Orton pull out a victory here, probably punt him in the head again, and send him on his way to his tour with Theory of a Dead Man, which is still an awesome show.
Awesome shows aside, and actually, you know what? No, not awesome shows aside. Because this... I'm going to sort of think outside the box here with this match. I predict that for this match, this is just going to be an excuse for Jericho and Randy Orton to tear the house down before Jericho has to leave for his next little Endeavor rock band thing.
I would hope so.
I can see these guys easily doing that, where Chris Jericho breaks out some stuff that he hasn't broken out in a while. Randy Orton is at crisp Randy Orton speed, and it's just one of those things where look,
I will say this, okay? Their matches are always good. Matches are always good. I'm not complaining that we're getting a Chris Jericho Randy Orton match, because those matches are always good. They're always enjoyable for me to listen to. What the hell? To watch.
You're listening to the radio coverage of Randy Orton.
Yeah. To watch.
You got Gordon Soley covering Laws of Jericho.
Chris Jericho versus Randy Orton is always a good match to watch. I just don't want to see Chris Jericho get punted in the head again on his way out. If he loses and then walks out under his own power and just like, I'm gonna go do my future endeavors and come back in a year again, then that's fine. But don't do something that's already been done.
I'll tell you what, though. Normally, I would agree with you 100%, and this match would just be sort of unexpected and stale. But I've just noticed something in myself when I've been checking out this match. I don't know about you, but occasionally when a wrestler has been around for a while, I have a tendency to not really think much of them until they're gone for a while. But occasionally, when a wrestler is still around, I realize that, hey, they're not going to be around forever. And they're probably going to be on the cusp of leaving very, very soon. And it's only in moments like that when I get to really take notice and say, oh, wait a minute. So-and-so is still around. So-and-so still has some matches left. So-and-so is wrestling a match this week on pay-per-view or on Monday Night Raw. I had that sort of moment with Rob Van Dam over the past year. I've had that same moment several times with The Big Show, because let's face it, the fact that he is still an active wrestler is astounding to me.
Yeah, he should.
And I am having that same reaction with Chris Jericho now.
Well, obviously, I'm a Chris Jericho fanboy. So whenever he's on my TV, whenever he comes out, I'm like, yay, yay, yay! I'm just of the mind that I'm going to love this match. I am. Because it's Chris Jericho, it's Randy Orton, they know what they're doing, and it'll be a good, fun time. Just don't, at the end of the match, give me something that I've already seen. Okay? We've seen Chris Jericho get punted off of TV. We've seen it. Mm-hmm. Give me something new. Okay? Jericho's going to lose this match. Randy Orton's going to win.
Agreed.
That's no doubt. But at the end of the match, either let Jericho walk off under his own power and then just leave, or have an epic beatdown that does not include a punt to the head. Because, hey, seen it. Don't want to see it again. Give me something new. On the way out.
When was the last time Randy Orton actually punted somebody?
He's tried a couple times.
But he's never actually landed it in recent memory.
Yeah, the last time that I know that he landed it was Jericho in 2010. Do not do it again. Give me something
I don't
new.
think it will happen again, but still, I think we all know where this is going. Randy Orton wins.
Randy Orton wins. Chris Jericho rides off into the sunset to come back at some point next year or the year after that. He said he will come back until he feels that he can't do it anymore.
That is a morbidly comforting thought.
Well, I don't mean like till he's dead, but
until he's like, until we get that notice that okay, I'm feeling old and crippled. Until then, you're still going to get the Ayatollah of rock and roll, baby.
Exactly. So I'm not saying that this is the end of Chris Jericho. If there's like a whole send off,
I'm glad it's not.
If there's a whole send off or whatever on Sunday night, then I don't know. But if he just walks off under his own power and goes out and just like, hey, I'm gonna go tour with Theory of a Dead Man now. I'll be back later on, maybe for WrestleMania season. Who knows? But obviously we're going with the obvious here. Randy Orton wins. Jericho gets out of the company in some way or form. Better not be a punt to the head.
You heard it here first. As long as it's not a punt to the head, it doesn't matter what else happens to Jericho. We're good with it. In the meantime, we still have possibly one of two main events. Nah, who am I kidding? This is just going to be another regular match. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Clashes Shield members that aren't Dean Ambrose. Who do you got?
I honestly believe that everyone said that Dean Ambrose will return on the Raw afterwards.
I wasn't going to say anything yet, but you're right.
I believe that Kane comes out to help Seth Rollins at some point, because you know it's going to happen. Come on. Kane's going to come out to try to help Seth Rollins, okay? I don't believe that Dean Ambrose waits until Monday Night Raw. I believe he comes out at Night of Champions. Roman Reigns wins because of Dean Ambrose interference.
You know, with the way you've been going, you're going to make this episode a hell of a lot shorter. Because I was going into this, I was like, okay, I heard the same rumor about Dean Ambrose. I'm super psyched. I'm super torqued for Dean Ambrose. I'm a Dean Ambrose guy. Woo. The question was initially, will Dean Ambrose interfere in this match, or will he just show up randomly the next night on Raw? I admit I had completely forgotten about Kane. All my attention was so much on Dean Ambrose, I had forgotten about any other factors. But you know what? Now that you mention that,
Dean Ambrose just comes out to make it a fair fight and maybe get in a couple shots on Seth Rollins as he can. But both of those guys took him out. Both of them, Kane and Seth Rollins. So if Kane comes out, Dean Ambrose is going to come get him some. That's it.
Yeah, because I keep hearing that supposedly everything wrapped on his movie just this week.
At the beginning of the week, yeah. So he's available.
Oh, I really hope so. I would love to see Dean Ambrose come back. I want to see him back, please.
I have a feeling that Roman Reigns will take it either way because Roman Reigns.
Because Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Apple Dough 2.0.
But you know what? I'm on the Roman Reigns train until he proves me otherwise. Until he proves me that he's... Because John Cena just annoys me with his... Roman Reigns doesn't come with the jokes. John Cena comes with the jokes against Brock Lesnar. That ain't cool.
That's because Roman Reigns is not John Cena 2.0. He's Batista 2.0.
And I was cool with Batista when he was actually in the company, so whatever.
Okay.
So
see, I wasn't actually cool with Batista until the very end of his run, when he actually started expressing himself beyond just hurt you, blah, blah, blah.
I actually liked Batista when he turned on Evolution, and just the whole... when the thumbs down thing happened, and I was like, whoa!
And that's the only thing I remember out of Batista, other than just, basketballs don't hold grudges, and you're supposed to be my friend, heel turn, I'm a douche.
And that whole duct tape?
Are you
serious?
Yeah, those moments, moments that we just talked about, those are the only things I remember from Batista's original run.
Yeah.
That and the dancing guy who snuck backstage and then got cut off by the random security guards.
But I do believe, okay, that whatever way this cookie crumbles, okay, Roman Reigns will win, no matter what.
And Seth Rollins can make anyone look like gold.
Exactly. So Roman Reigns wins. What we're hoping for is a Dean Ambrose return to balance the scales, if you were, because we all know that Kane's coming out there in this match. If you don't think Kane's coming out there in this match, you're a moron. That's it.
Mr. Ambrose, please come back.
But
the show isn't the same without you, please.
Ambrose is coming back either Sunday or Monday. So whatever. I just hope that it's Sunday. It gives me a reason to watch this show.
Dean Ambrose, if you come back, I will watch your silly, ridiculous direct-to-DVD cop movie, whatever it's called, Lockdown.
Dude, I'm gonna watch that anyway.
Lockdown.
I will watch that anyway.
I will actually watch it
because Dean Ambrose is amazing, and I don't care. I will watch it anyway. But okay, I will buy it. If I will buy it in the stores if you show up on Sunday, I will do it. I will not watch it on Netflix. I will buy it in stores. I will spend that $15.
Dean Ambrose playing a loose cannon cop on the edge who doesn't play by the rules. Okay, I've had a worse way to spend $15. Okay, Roman Reigns wins. Moving on to the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship: Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. What happens?
What I hope happens...
Oh boy, here we go.
...is that they've been booking John Cena like a monster the entire month. And that's cool. So they're gonna have a straight up match this time, not an overpowering one with 18 frickin' German suplexes. What I hope happens is that Brock Lesnar finds a way to come out on top. Brock Lesnar needs to be the champion until WrestleMania. You heard it here first. What I fear will happen, and what I've heard rumored in the dirt sheets, there are either two things that happen. Okay? Brock Lesnar wins via outside interference via somebody. Don't know who. Via somebody. Or John Cena wins, Seth Rollins cashes in immediately afterwards.
I heard that. That's... oh boy.
Would I like to see Seth Rollins as champion? Yes. But not at the expense of Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar must hold this title until WrestleMania, and then the person who beats him gets cashed in on by Seth Rollins. That is my best case scenario. Worst case scenario is what is said to be possibly happening at Night of Champions. I'm still gonna pick Brock Lesnar because in my heart of hearts, because of the contract scenario that they brought up at the beginning of the month, stating that Brock Lesnar must show up at dates on Raw. He doesn't have to be warned in advance. His storylines don't have to be planned out 6 months in advance like they did with Triple H and the first John Cena and the CM Punk or whatever. He had to be on dates for Raw. They redid his contract when he won the championship to say that. And why would you do that if you weren't going to have him champion full term? Why would you do that?
That is encouraging to me.
Why would you do that? So, I'm going Brock Lesnar either way. But I will not be surprised if John Cena wins, gets cashed in on by Seth Rollins, and then Brock Lesnar beats... and then Brock Lesnar just goes beast mode on Seth Rollins next month.
I'll tell you what. This is another one of those cases where I'm really split even now what could happen in this match. 'Cause I'm not sure if you got this impression too, but it seems like this match has sort of become an all-consuming black hole of a force that just seems to be dominating everything for good reason. I mean, this is the main event of the show, and it actually feels, to their credit, like a main event.
Yeah.
This has that big match feel that most other John Cena matches, I admit, don't really get they don't really elicit that same sort of emotion out of me. This one, my primary prediction, Brock Lesnar keeps looking strong. Again, that little bit of adjustment in his contract, that looks good to me too. That shows some promise that that's what they'll go with. Because I would really love to see Brock Lesnar remain strong, remain this sort of final boss of WWE for a considerable amount of time, only to have a super mega face who isn't John Cena come out months down the line to finally beat Brock Lesnar for the title. It's a big hero-making moment. But in the meantime, until then, I'm right there with you. I can really see John Cena winning, Blapado, whatever. Seth Rollins cashes in and then moves on to feud with John Cena for a while.
Honestly, okay, Brock Lesnar would still have his rematch clause. So that's why I'm like, Seth Rollins wins, only holds the title for a month because Brock Lesnar's coming for you, man. but
then it just feels like a waste.
Exactly. But that's how they normally do the Money in the Banks. Okay? It's just to see how that person can handle like a 1 month, 2 month reign, and then we'll do it. But I just don't think it's the time. Brock Lesnar beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He's the one in 20 and 1?
The one in 21 and 1.
Yeah, the one in 21 and 1.
And also I hear you can get the WWE Network for only $9.99.
Indeed. He is the one in 21 and 1, okay? And he's going to hold the title for a month?
Not likely.
If it's true, okay, WWE has jumped the shark. John Cena at this point doesn't deserve the title. He deserves to go into that feud with Rusev we were talking about earlier and maybe beat him.
Which is another reason why I'm thinking that just adds more fuel to the fire that Brock Lesnar will actually be able to retain. And I really hope he does. Because if he beats down John Cena and Brock Lesnar moves on to something else, which I hope he does, John Cena will have already a predisposition to, America, Super Cena, blah, 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 whatever, fight Rusev. Come up with anything. I don't even care. Just have him fight Rusev, get him away from Brock Lesnar, get him away from the title, get away from any sort of Money in the Bank and everything else, and the blah, blue, and the blee, and the muffins. Just have him do something, have some new babyface, up-and-coming, different guy, fight Lesnar afterwards, and then everyone wins and is happy. The end.
La-di-da, yay!
Okay, so ultimately, where are we going with this? Brock Lesnar?
I am going Brock Lesnar. Yes.
You're going Brock Lesnar? I am too. Brock Lesnar, conqueror, daddy. Our hopes lie on you, baby.
For not crying before going to sleep because John Cena is WWE World Heavyweight Championship again. Knock on wood.
No, we're not talking about that.
Knock on wood.
Brock Lesnar, the conqueror. Brock Lesnar, just break Cena. It was so much fun the first time. Let's see it happen again.
It was pretty fun the first time. It
was very fun the first time.
It was so fun that I was getting worried that my fun was about to be stopped dead in its tracks.
You know what? With the way WWE has a tendency to go, you wouldn't have been wrong. In the meantime, hey, it happened once before. It can happen again.
Do I believe it'll be the epic beatdown that was SummerSlam? No. Do I believe that Brock Lesnar will still find a way to come out on top? Yes. It must happen. WWE, don't fail me now.
You know what? WWE's...
This last month has not given me much faith in you, WWE. Okay? Do not fail me on a pay-per-view.
And you know what? I just had a thought. What if WWE deliberately planned out this entire pay-per-view and booked it this specific way just to get all their good stuff, distill it into one central match. They put it all into the Brock Lesnar-John Cena match. Brock Lesnar retains, another massive beatdown of John Cena, and it just makes the rest of the pay-per-view look ridiculous by comparison. What
It
if that
better
was
be-
by design?
It better be 30 Germans, if that's the way that if that's what they're talking, if what you say is true, okay? Because this pay-per-view has been built up like crap.
It really has. John Cena, Brock Lesnar, WWE as a whole, prove us wrong. Show us something at this pay-per-view. Only now am I getting my hopes up for this pay-per-view. Show us something good. Prove us all wrong. Show us what you got. Well, that's the pay-per-view as a whole. Not a lot of expectations high going in, but you know what? After all this discussion, I'm actually pretty hyped for this pay-per-view now.
That's how these shows normally work.
Yeah, that's why I love these prediction shows. It gets the hype train going. But what we want to know is, what about you guys? Every single person listening to this, what do you think is going to happen at Night of Champions? You got Brock Lesnar? You got Cena? Who else do you got? Let us know in the comments below. Comment on this video, like us, and subscribe if you want to hear more wrestling discussion just like this. And of course, don't forget to like us on Facebook, find us on Twitter. Just get us going. Let's get the conversation going. Who do you like, Night of Champions? Who do you like going forward? Just who do you like? Period. Boom. I don't know about you, but that's one heck of a show. I'm out.
Blah, 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 blah.
We are the Scholars of Wrestling. You have just been schooled. You're welcome. See y'all at Night of Champions. Peace.
I've got to take a nap.